Is that cereal? What kind?
Or Crunch.
What kind?
Captain Crunch?
Peanut Butter Crunch.
Peanut butter crunch.
As long as it's not leftover Little Caesars from yesterday.
They make peanut butter Chex now. Best cereal I've ever had in my life.
That was Southside Pizza, and it is excellent.
All right, we ready for this?
Yep.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. I'm Shane, and I'm here with Brandon and Charles and Christopher and John. We are a YouTube show and a podcast, so thanks very much for joining us. We have lots of collector fans out there who enjoy the show, and we enjoy chatting with you and hearing the feedback, so appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're here for the video format of this show, we appreciate you. Please like the video and comment. Let us know what you think. If you're part of the pod crew and you're listening to this through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, definitely come over to YouTube as well. We put a lot of videos out in between these weekly serial episodes, and you'll be able to get a lot of additional content that way. We put out educational videos. We do unboxings, all sorts of stuff like that, sharing different collections that we come across. So please join us there as well. Guys, welcome to another episode. John is enjoying a snack of some peanut butter crunch. Christopher's got a new hat. Brandon is on the West Coast enjoying the weather down there. And Charles, his wife is missing him and she's drinking some wine by herself. Charles, what do you think about that?
Yes.
All right, a man of one word. Chris, how's it going out there in New York today?
Everything is good out here. I'm excited for today's episode. I think it's going to be fun. I hope people definitely comment in the comment section and make sure they leave their ideas on the topic of the show, what we're going to talk about. So I want to hear what everyone else has to say also without giving it away. Brandon, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is pet peeves and what we cannot stand in the groups, on the pages, in general, on eBay, other stores, sites, etc. It's all about what is it that we see that drives us crazy and up the wall.
So I definitely want people to chime in on this one and comment in the comment section and tell us, because I think it would be funny to read what everyone else thinks also.
Yeah, and guys, we got a couple of comments recently that, we found interesting. We were, flattered by it. I know I was. A couple of people said they love when we have guests on, but to make sure that we keep sprinkling in episodes of just the five of us talking about the hobby, talking about collecting, and just basically shooting the breeze. So that's what we're doing tonight. And somebody had the idea for pet peeves. I think it's a great topic. And of course, we could probably go on forever. We probably have a handful of pet peeves each, but we're going to go around robin and talk about each of us give our one main pet peeve of recent. Who wants to start? Anybody want to jump in and give us what irks them in the collector hobby?
I guess I'll go first. I want to start off by saying we're still giving away this Razor Crest. You need to like, subscribe, and comment on that video. We have a Razor Crest. It's free to somebody once we get 2,500 subs. So please spread the word. Let's get more people in here so we can give this thing away. And
Charles, just to add on to that, because we talked about it recently, if somebody outside we're willing to ship it in the US for free. If somebody outside of the US wins it, as far as we're concerned, they still win. I mean, that's a big prize. We can't ship it to you. It's just too prohibitive, the cost, but we will work with you. We'll help you sell it within one of the groups. And you'll win you'll get the cash. So definitely subscribe, even if you're out of the US.
All right. So I guess I'm starting this off. I wouldn't say it's my number one pet peeve, but one of them is when someone does a wild find and they post it on every page that I'm in. I'm in a whole bunch of pages, and every page will be this same lot that someone found, supposedly wild find that they find, and then maybe a day or two later, all that stuff is for sale. So why even show this on all these pages that you found it and then just sell it like a day or two later? You might as well just sell it and just not even show it off.
Well, that's the whole point about showing it off, Charles, is that way people know what they found and they can then PM the person. It's actually an advertising post, is what I think.
Yeah, but so I do the same thing, but I don't do it as a wild find. I say I bought a collection, it's going to be for sale. When you start doing the wild find, you make it sound like you walked down the block to Target and there was a bum on the corner selling Star Wars toys. You didn't find the Star Wars toys on the block or in someone's house. You knew someone was selling. You went there and you bought a collection. It's not really a wild find. A wild find is when you least expect it.
Yeah. So what are these people calling a wild find is what I'm curious about. I mean, because like if I go into an antique shop and there happens to be a double telescoping Luke, that's a wild find. Am I right?
I agree.
For like $40 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a wild find.
Yes, it was unplanned, an unplanned find.
Yes, it would be a wild find, but some of these people are snapping a photo of like a red bar that they find, and then the same thing that's for sale like next day.
Yeah.
Is it the one where it's like
I'm so nervous I can't.
Oh,
is it already for sale? Is it for sale already?
I just made up anything.
Well, yeah, and you know what too is when they're posting the wild find, they're saying they're excited, whatever, and then it's tagged with NFS, right? Which some of the groups require if you don't have a price, not for sale. But I think the thing that Brandon was just pointing to is it's not for sale. But then on the flip side, that person is probably getting 100 private messages. Half of it's sold before, the day's even over. And then the next day, it's for sale. I get what you're saying because it's basically, crowing about the wild find, crowing about what I just got my hands on. And it's not for sale. I'm just crowing, but then it's all for sale. And, it's an advertisement.
That's why I'm saying make it an advertisement that you bought a collection. And don't say it's a wild find because it obviously wasn't a wild find. You bought a collection. You want to show it off. You want the attention or whatever it is. Perfectly fine. You want to get PM deals. Absolutely. But when you say wild find, the term wild find is loosely used.
And it's also on
kind of like Grail.
It's also on every single page. Like it's on like Vintage Alliance, it's on Star Wars Vintage, it's on the IC. It's the same exact freaking post on like 10 different pages. Why do you have to tell every single page what you found?
Yeah, I think that's just like almost like a humble brag, when people do that. I just can't stand that. The self-aggrandizing and stuff like that drives me bonkers. That's one of the facets of self-promotion that I cannot stand.
Look at me. Look what I found.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of wild finds. I mean, if they were genuine, if this was 1997, and I didn't collect then, but if it was a wild find then, you'd say like, oh, nobody's cared about Star Wars for a while. This guy, actually uncovered something, went to a garage sale and found 2 boxes of stuff. That's a wild find in the old sense.
Yes.
So now if you make a post and you post up a wild find and it's got 23 mocks laid out on the floor, I mean, you don't even have to describe it. Like, I think we all know, and the people who are listening and watching know, when you see a quote unquote wild find post, you just know inherently right off the bat, is this really like, if somebody posted 4 figures and they're like a collector and they're like, I'm so happy to add these to my collection. You're happy for the person. If they spread out, $4,000 worth of Star Wars on the floor and they're like, oh, wild find, I can't believe my day. It's like, no, you planned a meeting somewhere. You went to the bank and took out a bunch of money. met with somebody, negotiated, like it's different.
Here's the kicker.
It's a business transaction.
Here's the kicker, Shane, is they have this post and they have like 30 mocks laid out. And then a few days later, they want top dollar for every single one. You just made a post a few days ago saying you got a really good deal and it's a wild find. And now you want $1,000 every single one. I mean, why even have the wild find in the beginning?
Right. If you're somebody who has really nice stuff, you made a good deal for yourself. You did all the hunting. It takes a lot of work. It's not easy. Just be happy that you got it and just post your stuff like normal. Like if you crow about like getting a great deal and then you want top dollar, it just really comes off a certain way to anybody that might be interested in buying. And I'm sure it turns some people off.
Who's got the next pet peeve?
I got one that ties into the wild find. Is the, hey everybody, look what I found, and I beat some old lady over the head for it, and I got it for $10. How did I do? Anybody? How did I do? How did I do? How did I do?
I love that one. They show a picture of something, and it always goes, "How did I do?" Like, what do you need people's attention and recognition for? You know how you did. It was a great deal. But
you know how you did. Stop asking.
It's another one of those things where people are just seeking attention. I really think that. Welcome to the world of social media.
Well, it seems like one of two things, right? It's either somebody looking for mommy and daddy's approval, a little pat on the head, or it's their way of like an underhanded brag, or a humble brag, right? Like, let me pose it as a question, like, I don't know what I'm doing here, when I know exactly what I'm doing, just so everybody will say, oh, you did a great job. Like, they need that approval, they need that stamp.
Someone makes a post of like 500 figures, 100 weapons, a few mocks. Hey, I found this in a store, $125. How did I do? I mean, like, how do you think you did? You paid $100 for like 500 figures. Why even ask the question?
Not to mention you've been on that group for how many years? You know exactly how you did.
They need attention. That's why. I'm going to go with my pet peeve. My pet
You better go now, because I've got about 20 of them.
Brandon's angry tonight. He's ready to go.
So my pet peeve is when someone is selling a loose figure for sale. When I sell loose figures, I take a front shot and I take a back shot. Once in a while, if there's a problem, I might do a side shot. But when I see someone selling a loose figure and they're doing gymnastics and the Olympics with their figure, I automatically will never buy a figure. When I see someone doing this, like, to me, this is stupid. This is like a 5-year-old kid making a listing. Hey, look, the limbs are really tight. You don't need to do this to the figure for me to see that. Just put it in the description.
How much you selling that one for, Chris? I actually want that one.
This is actually a Letty Biker Scout.
Well, you just ruined it now, so
it's not for sale. Don't worry.
It's worth $0.0 now. You might as well send it back to Mexico.
Well, how did you do?
Yeah, Chris, how did you do on that?
But seriously, like, all you need to do is this. You don't need to do any more. And then how about when someone is listing an R2-D2 and it's a white sticker? Everyone knows that the sticker, and you have oil on your fingers, you don't want to handle the stickers. You got guys that are touching the figure like this, manhandling it in their hands. Well, that need to show you that a video or a picture of you touching the sticker.
That's going to move on to another one, but I'm not going to call it a pet peeve, is the guys on the live sales, and it's not Shane. They're eating like fried chicken, French fries, or like Yankee Doodles, whatever they're eating, and they're just slapping their fingers all over all these figures. For 40 years, that old lady was slapping it all in the bin, slapping it on the card. Now the thing, now it's finally free, and now you're gonna wipe your chicken fingers all over the R2D2 sticker.
I just don't get it. People will still buy it. Like when I see that, I either just keep scrolling or I click off. I cannot buy anything that's like that. It's just crazy.
I'm just sitting here cracking up off screen. I was watching a live sale, and you guys remember this probably. I was watching a live sale, and somebody was selling some vehicles, right? Now, vehicles, it's not like an R2, but they got stickers all over them, right? Guy was literally sitting there and eating a cheesesteak. And he was describing, everybody's like, what are you eating? Like trying to make conversation. He's describing all the toppings that are on the cheesesteak. It's got onions and peppers and melted cheese and mayo. And then he's grabbing the ships and, manipulating them all over the screen. And we're just like, there's no way they're not covered in grease. Covered.
Who wants to buy a vehicle and get it in and have it smell like a Philly cheesesteak?
Unless you're from Philly, then maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you're handling all the stickers with an R2 or like R5, you can't, it's like a live sale, you can't use your bare hands. Once I see someone wiping their sweaty fingers all over the R2 sticker, why would you even want to even buy that? It's bound to yellow. It's going to yellow.
Absolutely. Come on, John. I feel the same way, when I'm touching my figures over here.
Now, all this being said, I do have to interject that I remember the very first time I came across John Walden was his live sale. He was definitely eating pizza that night.
Definitely eating pizza, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had a buddy that was helping him out, though. I think he took a break from the auction and sat back and was eating a slice of pizza at like friggin' 1 o'clock in the morning or something. So fair enough. But
that was the best auction.
That's why John hasn't done a live auction since, because no one bought anything.
He was sitting there cursing somebody out when he didn't think anybody heard him, but everybody heard him.
I don't remember that part.
I remember that part.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
So you were the pizza eater? You were eating pizza and just slapping the fingers with your oil fingers.
No, I have like a roll of paper towels.
I don't know.
Oh, that helps. That's fine.
I don't know about that Georgia pizza, but you eat New York pizza, you need water and you need to wash your hands. You can't use a paper towel.
You need like a baby wipe or something that's wet and soapy to wash that grease off.
I'm watching Chris explain to you how to clean your hands while he's got a mouthful of food.
Yeah, what are you eating, by the way?
I'm actually not eating anything. I made like these frozen ice cubes, but it's orange juice. So like these little like frozen orange juice things. Oh my god, they're so good.
What are you 6 years old?
Really? Do they have a plastic stick sticking out of them?
Is there vodka in them?
I do
That's
have
the only way you can do that.
a 2-year-old at home,
Is that the only way that mommy gets you to drink your orange juice?
Every time I go pee-pee on the potty, I get one. So
while you're doing the live sale, right?
Exactly. Who goes next?
I'll jump in. My pet peeve is I think I have a suspicion that you guys will be on board with me on this one. We do a lot of videos about accessories and educating, newer collectors on what accessories go with what. And there's some that are different colors. And so some figures have a specific color with them, of the same kind of blaster and stuff. We're all about properly matching accessories with figures. But what just drives me nuts is the factory correct accessories. Somebody gets it in their brain that they have to look up the COO of a figure and then look at the details and research it and figure out what factory it came from in Hong Kong or Taiwan or whatever. and then they need the exact blaster that came from that factory. There's 11 versions of the blaster, and they have to get the one that came from the Rainbow Sunshine factory where their figure came from. Guy, does that drive you guys nuts? Like when people are looking for that and asking you as a seller, like, does it have the correct factory weapon? Drives me nuts.
Shane, Phyllis, 60 years old, was putting these figures into the MOCs a certain way. She worked at the Sunshine factory. She wanted the Rainbow Blaster to go with the hammerhead with the scarred left foot. Yes, that's the correct way to sell it.
So from now on Rogue 5 Toys, everybody that buys from you will know to get the exact factory, the cloudy Sunshine blaster with the hammerhead with the scar foot. Okay.
I like when someone sells like a Luke Jedi Knight and it has the cape, the blaster, and the saber, but someone goes, well, that figure is Hong Kong and your cape is made in Hong Kong. They don't go together because made in Hong Kong is different than Hong Kong. Who cares what Gertrude did back in 1978 or 980? Who cares when she put these things? Do we really need to go this far into it?
I think
Go ahead, Brandon.
you're taking it. Yeah, that's taking a little too far.
Yeah, I mean that drives me bonkers too, because a lot of times when someone, like if you're doing a live sale or something like that, and then you have, like, this has happened to me before, where I had a Taiwan Luke, I had I guess it was a Taiwan blaster, but it wasn't the right color gray to go with this certain. I mean, there's like all different shades of gray for the Palace blaster, and it wasn't the right gray or something. It was like the version 2, and the saber was version 1. And somebody asked, "Is that a version 1 saber? Because that's a version 2 blaster that goes with it." And then that screws up the sale. People start questioning, even though there's no reason to. I mean, if you want to get that, minuscule about your collecting, then go ahead, find it in one of Charles's accessory sales or something like that. But
I'm actually fine with someone wanting the correct stuff. That's fine. You can want the correct stuff. But when someone's selling something, you don't have to tell everybody, hey, everybody, that's not the V1. It's supposed to be the V1, not the V3. That's the wrong blaster. No one is going to want that item now.
the
sale's done.
Yeah.
The sale is dead after that.
So
that drives me bonkers.
Some of the people can just keep your mouth closed. You don't have to tell. Yes, that the V1 only comes with this thing and that. That's great. You don't have to tell everybody, though.
Just because that one person collects that way, they try and get everyone else to collect that way. No one else cares. List an item. If you don't want to buy it, then that's it. Or everyone's just going to keep breaking up their figures and selling just the accessories. And you're going to be paying double the price on all the figures. So what do they want?
Or you just do a live sale. I'm going to eat fried chicken, French fries, and Zeppelis. And I am going to manhandle that R2, manhandle that R5, and I'm going to sell my R2 that I normally sell for $20. It's going to sell for $60 on a live sale. And no one knows in the background I'm chomping on chicken, fries, and Zeppelis.
Is there powdered sugar on the Zeppelis?
Extra powdered sugar. I live in New York.
Love it.
Extra powdered sugar.
That's probably the only action those people are going to be getting is that food that they're eating. Because if you're that worried about the combo between your figure and your weapon, and if they're correct, that's the only action they're getting.
And I'm sure there's somebody listening to this episode out there that's a little insulted by this or one of the pet peeves.
Shane, I guarantee you half of the listeners right now are insulted.
Don't get me wrong. So when you're talking about matching up a snap cape with the proper Luke Jedi, I'm on board for that because the snap cape goes with one. Got it. But if you're going to tell me like which version out of the 11 versions of a blaster needs to go with I just want to, just who cares?
If a
Who cares?
If a sewn cape goes with a Luke Jedi and 4 of the sewn capes are Hong Kong, but that specific figure only had a version 1, not the 2, 3, who cares? It's all matching. What does it matter? It's still, the same thing. Who cares?
Shane, no one's going to believe you. You have to go closer to the camera.
Yeah, you have to go closer to the camera, Shane.
Who cares?
Now they know you're telling the truth.
I thought if I lean closer, I thought it was a lie. Isn't that what we decided? The closer you get to the camera, the more you're lying.
So once you're talking and then you get closer like this, it means you're lying.
Yeah.
I actually have another one. So another pet peeve of mine, and I absolutely love when people do this. People will make a post crying how they can't find anything by their house. Oh my God, there's nothing left. I can't find anything. There was a deal and I made an offer, and by the time I got there, it was sold.
So Chris, to your point, it's real easy to find the proof that that's true. Go to eBay. Right? We've been saying this for a couple of months now. There is nothing cheap on eBay. Stuff is all overpriced or right at the level where it should be like full value.
Yeah.
So it's been hard to find stuff to just even, keep a sales page, flush with stuff, or to do a live sale. You go look at eBay and you tell me what the prices are right now, and then you tell me if the grandpa who has his son's box, in the garage, all he has to do is go to eBay. He knows it's worth something. He knows it's not worth $20.
No one is saying it's easy, but to cry about it and get attention on the post is another thing. So if you guys don't see me selling, like let's say for months, you're never going to hear me cry and say, I can't find anything. It's impossible. Like, get over it. You're a grown man. Who cares?
Yeah, stuff always comes around too. Stuff always comes around.
That one really, really rubs you the wrong way, and that one just it doesn't even rub me at all. Like I really don't. I don't find that annoying at all.
Guys, Charles is completely unrubbed about that one. I just want to take a break to just recognize that the Wildminsters believe that the women who live and work in Hong Kong are named Gertrude and Phyllis.
So Gertrude is usually like my go-to name when I'm trying to think of like an old hag.
I've got another one. Or Shane, did you go already?
I haven't gone yet.
I thought you went.
I've not gone yet.
We asked John to go twice already, but he just keeps dilly-dallying.
He asked me to go.
He was eating cereal, so give him a minute.
I got okay, well I got one after John then. It's
okay. Can I go now?
Did you wash your hands first?
Before I got the cereal, yeah. But my pet peeve is rare. This is rare. This is a rare figure. This is rare. Yeah, I cannot stand that. I just want to punch somebody in the face over it because it's like, how rare is that figure when you can go to eBay and you can see 1,000 of them listed? That's not rarity. I mean, there's only a few rare figures. I mean, truly rare figures.
John, let's rewind, I don't know, 10 episodes ago. Mm-hmm. Shane, short V's are so rare. You must have hated him that night. He must have said rare 50 times.
To be honest with you, I think that's why I was so mad about the whole short V movement, because people kept saying the word rare.
Oh my gosh.
If the word rare was never used, I probably wouldn't hate it as much as I actually do. But I legitimately hate that variant.
Yeah.
Well, that goes hand in hand with the term grail. And people poop all over other people when they say, "Oh, I found my grail. I found my grail." And people are like, "That's not a grail. It's an overused term," and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, wait a second. Not everybody makes the amount of money that some other people make. So if somebody finds their Luke Jedi that they've been waiting for 10 years and they've been saving their pennies for, and they're finally able to buy it. If that's their grail, so be it. Everybody's grail is different, and not everybody gets paid the same. So it drives me crazy when people shut down other people like, that's not a grail, blah, blah, it's so common, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, well, then what's your grail? Well, that's your grail? I have 10 of those.
What do you even need to
That's
comment?
not a grail.
Why do they even need to comment? That's what I don't understand, because they're attention seekers.
Well, it also matters how they're putting it into like content. You know, if you're saying this is my grail item, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can't question someone's grail item. But when you're selling an item and you say up for sale is this grail item,
No.
can't do that. Drives.
These are people commenting like, I found my grail. And they're like, oh, that's not a grail.
How does that go, Brandon?
That's the new short for next week.
Yeah. But as far as like the rare figures, okay, Vlix is a rare figure, wouldn't you say?
I would say Vlix is a rare figure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not common.
Do what?
Not common.
Not common. Like, okay, R2 with the pop-up saber, not rare.
No,
No, not at all.
even like a orange-haired, Luke Farm Boy, he's not rare. He's harder to find.
Yeah, I try to say scarce.
Yeah, I don't use the word rare for that either.
People, well, some people say more rare, like the orange hair is more rare than the blonde hair, but then people get thrown off by that word rare being in there. But the intent is they're saying, a short V is more rare. It's you don't see as many as the regular orange hair. You don't see as many as the regular. I mean, Chris, you're waiting to get it in, or it went for grading. You just bought a truly rare figure that we talked about in one of the recent episodes.
Yeah, not just saying it because I bought it, but to me, that's a rare figure. If there's only 20 or so around in the world that are known of, to me, that's rare, which is a Toxic Limbs Bosk.
I mean, can you even name a figure that's much more rare than that, right? Like the rocket firing Boba Fett is, considered the rarest figure. And even those, there's how many of those known? 10 to 15? About 10 at least?
I don't even know. You have like the Lily Letty with the removable rocket. You have like the prototype one, stuff like that. Absolutely rare. You can use the word rare and grail all day long. Fine. But if you're putting up a yak face and you're saying ultra rare grail, yak face, blue snaggletooth, they're for sale. Even honestly, a vinyl Cape Jawa. A vinyl Cape Jawa is not hard to find. He's up for sale, I would say, every week.
They just want.
If you can go any given day and buy a figure somewhere on the internet, that's not really rare. They made millions of these figures. I understand they made less of some, but if you can go on the internet and buy a blue snaggletooth any day of the week. So, it's rare compared to other common figures, but there's some dividing line there, right? Between calling it a grail and ultra rare.
Or you can find a green snag.
Yeah, twice a day.
Rare is for like more money. So they put rare and they put all these words, so they can sell the item for more, like more money. So they use these like salesman words like rare, grail, like all these words so they get more money.
I ain't falling for it. It's garbage.
Is it true that the B-Wing face number 6 is considered ultra rare? Is that right?
No, not 6. Face number 8 is the rarest.
8. So you've been on the hunt for that for a while.
I still can't find that. That's the what did I get myself into face.
Is that the frown?
Right. No, it's the what did I get myself into face.
All right, so you'll be looking for that at ICCC.
Definitely.
And for the next few toy shows you go to, right?
Definitely. And if it doesn't have a weapon, I got $20. So
All right, folks, that's going to do it for part 1 on our episode of Pet Peeves. We're all riled up here, and we have more to share with you, more things that bother us and nag at us in the collector hobby. So join us next week for part 2 of this episode. Please subscribe to the channel. Find the giveaway video that we have on our channel for the HasLab Razor Crest. We're giving away this vehicle. It's from the Vintage Collection. It's huge. We're going to ship it to the winner anywhere in the U.S. And if you're international, you can still win. And we'll figure something out with you. We'll sell it on your behalf, and you'll win the cash for it. It's worth $700-800 plus. So please subscribe to the channel, like that giveaway video, and comment on it to be entered into the giveaway. And you can also hang with us at rogue5toys.com. That's where we have our sales page, and you can just have a good time with us there on a daily basis. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.